Welcome everybody to the DC Pharma Show. Sorry for being late, but first episode we going to run into complications or whatever the case may be. But we're here now. For those who tuning in, thank you for tuning in. To my fellow audience, Big Worm over here, can't join me. Thank you very much. First show today, so pretty much what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna introduce myself to the people out there. Trichomes Chase, if they come through tonight, I'm also introduce them as well. But for the most part, DC native, DC born, been growing since the initiative passed. Through my trials and error, I found my self falling into this no-till gardening method, may I say. So that's what I want to talk to y'all about today, you know, tell y'all how I got to this point. So like I was saying, through my trials and error, meaning that when I first started growing, man, I thought everything was sweet. You get you a line of nutrients, throw your seed in there, your plant will grow, right? You know what I'm saying? But not really knowing about the game, not really knowing about growing, gardening, on anything in particular. Trial and error, as you may say. So you know, got my stuff together, got the hang of it. Started doing my research, knowing I could get more out of the plant than I was getting, so got deeper into my research, found out about organic gardening. So I tried to do that with synthetics, didn't work out too good. So I just went straight on to organic gardening, man. I bumped into this guy, Brown Guy 420 on the internet, on YouTube. A lot of you people might know him, a lot of you people might not. Probably don't, but if you don't know him, go follow him. Go follow his page on YouTube, Brown Guy 420. Instagram, same thing. But in watching his videos and watching his trial and errors, and also in him suggesting people who to look up, websites to go to, books to read, I found myself turning another corner and bumped into Clackamas Coop and Mountain Organics. Then from there, I bumped into the thread, Grassy City, started learning more. But from these guys and from the books that they suggested, man, I started learning more that it's not about actually growing the plant, but taking care of the soil. And that's where the living soil food, where it comes from, you know, the saying comes from us. We taking care of all the organisms in the soil, the microorganisms, the bacteria, the fungi, and so on and so on. Realizing that this is what actually grows your plant to its full potential. So that's how I got into this no-till and organic growing. And thank for all the people that's tuning in so far. Babe Bread, what's up with you, Babe Bread? Definitely got to blow out your genetics. So to get back to what I was saying, right? I started realizing that it was all about the soil and maintaining that soil. And I got to that point because I wasn't happy with what the nutrients was giving me and what I was paying for. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know I wasn't the best at it. I probably didn't get enough time because I see some people out there be growing some dank with some nutrients, so I ain't gonna hate. You know, everybody do their thing, but when I got into the organics, man, it was more so about saving money as well, you know, using the resources around you and being clean about it. And also, man, like I said, man, it lets your plants grow to its fullest potential because the plant's telling you what it needs instead of you trying to guess at what the plant may need. You know what I'm saying? Am I feeding it enough calcium? Am I checking the ppms? So on, so on. You know, some of you guys out there might know what I'm talking about. You know, in time and as I did more research, I came to realize that you don't have to worry about those things as long as you have like I said, a thriving, living soil. Not feeding in any salts, water, you know what I'm saying? Just plain water, man, that'll do it. As long as you have the right components in your soil. I also use coconut water, aloe vera, malted barley, so on and so on. These are some of the things that organic compounds that I add to the soil that the bacteria, the microorganism breaks down into the soil, and they create the nutrients that I need. So with that being said, anybody out there watching right now, y'all listen, y'all got any questions, man, send them through the chat. Let me know what's going on. What's going on, Monster? Would you come through? It said, read some of these guys. Man, I don't know where everybody at. Probably work, sleep, I don't know. As far as, oh, this is my third cycle. Third cycle in my soil. That's a good question, man. I got audience member asked me what cycle I'm on. Meaning the soil, how many times I done harvested, and so on and so on. But when you make this soil, when you have this no-till soil, you don't get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? You use this soil the next grow, the grow after that, the longer the cycle, the better the soil. Meaning the more organisms you have in the soil, the more organic compound and broke down, the more viable nutrients is available to the plant. So definitely, I'm on my third cycle with my soil, but I'm hoping to take about 15 if I can. But like I said, the longer the better. And when you do get to that point, when you get to like 10 or 15 and you feel like you want to start over, not necessarily start over, but add a new batch, mix that old batch in with the new. You know, you keep it going that way. And that's another beautiful thing about this no-till organic growing, y'all, man. Look, it's not bogus. It's not a hippie conspiracy. That ain't none of that, man. It's pretty much about, like I said, using what's around you to its fullest potential. You're not spending money on your nutrients. I mean, you're not breaking your pockets trying to grow this plant. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you could use it over and over and over and over again. So, like I said, this is going to be every Monday, 10 to 11. I will be talking no-till. I will be having guests in. I'll also be talking about other growers and what they use. You know what I'm saying? This is open for everybody as well. Got a studio now, so we're going to make it do what it do. Today's our first day. This is introduction. And I'd like to introduce myself, DC Pharma. And then, I also like to introduce the trichome chasers when they do come through, y'all. I see Monster on the line, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming through, showing me love. Had Babe Rick pass through here. Definitely got to interview him for some of his genetics that he got going. This guy started from the ground up, so I definitely want to represent that. Monster OG doing this thing. I done been watching him grow for a hot second now. Definitely got to try out some of his rosin. And these people that I'm naming, these are all growers that I met through the network, social network. Cali, Ohio, Michigan. You know, I get the inputs on what they do, how they do, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I keep my mind open, you know. Definitely like to reach out to all these other people out here. Hey, what's going on, Joshua Steenland? That's my no-till dude right there, Southeast D. What's going on with you? Like I said, man, I know this is a rough start, rough night. It's gonna get better. Thanks, Joshua, for coming through. Y'all need to go check out his YouTube. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got that no-till bumping. And if you anywhere where he's got his kombucha going, y'all definitely need to check that out too. 100% organic right there. What it do, 80s baby? Like I said, man, I don't know, man. Y'all shoot me some questions out there. Let me know what's going on, what I'm smoking on. I need to light it up because I'm just holding it right now, but it's some fire OG. Got through my brother right here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to shoot y'all the link through the chat if I can. Hey Jacob, can you make that happen for me? The link to the Hangouts through the chat. Well, we see if we can make it happen. If we can't, we catch y'all on the rebound. But I'm gonna see if I can put that link on the chat for my Tricone chasers so they could join in. Definitely like to introduce y'all. Got a whole 30 more minutes to kill on here. Said somebody's asking me what I'm averaging plant per yield now. Me, I'm growing out of 15 gallons, so it depends on the strains as well, how everything is going, but it all depends on what you're growing out of. The bigger the pot, the better. But if you're willing to let your plants monster out, man, you could get about a half a pound of plant, but on the average, a quarter pound for sure, out of a 15-gallon pot, that is. But if you could get into the raised beds, 45 gallons, 60-gallon pots, if you have the space, it's definitely worth the time. How do you deal with plant count in DC? Keep it to yourself. That's how you deal with it. Definitely keep it to yourself, man. But our city out here is not really like, they ain't out there to try to get you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making no noise, you good. And yes, beds are where it's at. Joshua Steenlands is completely correct about that. Like, if you have the space and you could do it, raised beds are definitely better for a no-till method because the worms thrive, the living organisms in the soil thrive even more. Well, it's better to have bigger pots because it's like Joshua Steenland says, and I could confirm to this because I have fish tanks. The bigger your fish tanks, the better your ecosystem. You feel me? So meaning that the better the biology, the less water changes you have to do, the less you have to get into it. But for the most part, the bigger the biology in your soil. That's pretty to the point right there. Definitely keep the microbes alive and thriving. Like I said, if you have a big, like, I don't know if you people notice, if you're an aquarium hobbyist and you have an aquarium, I don't know if you notice that your fish tend to be more colorful, thrive more, want to mate more. They have the space. They have the space to live, man. You have them little small aquariums, man. It's like they trapped in a cell, man. They stressing. They can't really do what they want to do. It's the same idea for a pot. Now, The reason I use 15-gallon pots is because I can squeeze more in the room, and it gives me somewhat a bigger size to let my soil thrive. But I really should be using 25 or better, to be honest with all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's just like 15 is almost like the deadline right there. But, you know, hopefully in this new space that I'm building, yes, I'm a handyman now, y'all. That's why it's taking so long to build this place. It's somewhat it's a hybrid greenhouse. That's how I like to call it. And I have my see-through ceiling, but I'm also gonna be running light deprivation. And I am gonna try to build some raised beds in there. Right now, I'm just trying to weigh out my options and how my pocketbook is looking. My pocketbooks is looking, cause it ain't looking too good right now. Well, that place could suck some money up. But as I was saying though, yeah, I have a new location that I'm building for those of y'all that follow me on IG. See the pictures that I'm pulling up. You see me building from the ground up. Right now I want to say I'm almost finished. But I'm so picky, man. I try to look over every detail. Somebody on Instagram might text me and be like, hey, you doing that wrong. So I got to step back and look at it, see what they talking about. You know, give it some credit to their ears sometimes. But it's going well. You know what I'm saying? It's almost finally there. Trying to finish the electric up and the insulation. I know it's going to be a little cold this winter out here in DC, so I got to make sure I got it buckled up. And I know I'm going to be running some good genetics, so got to make sure I got everything right for it. Yeah, I definitely want to give a special shout out to Joshua for tuning in, man. Showing me some love out here today. And all the rest of y'all tuning through. Next week, I should have a special guest on. He makes his own soil. I done had a few people ask me about buying soil from me and all that. I'm not really the kind of the type of guy that does all that. I do make my own soil though, but as far as packaging and selling it, marketing and all that, I got a lot of side things going on and getting into all that. But I do have a guy coming on next week, Los the Green Thumb. He definitely got his own soil going. You guys need to check him out on IG if y'all can. He makes his own soil, all organic. He'll get you started on the right foot. I have him here next week to talk more about that. And like I said, tune in for more next week. I'm gonna wrap this short tonight, cause like I told y'all, this was just introduction. I wasn't completely there, but I will shoot this out to y'all that want to start your own soil tonight, or not tonight, but whenever. I'm gonna give y'all the basic. This is just like the basic concept, the basic milestone, like the simple recipe right here. You can add, you can subtract from it, you can do what you want from here. But this is like the starting point. And it's Canadian peat moss. Not no regular cheap peat moss. Spend some money on it. When you building this soil, spend some money on quality material, quality products, because that's what you're gonna get at the end of the day with the end results. So Canadian peat moss, lava rocks, compost. Malibu compost is a great compost. We also have, I believe it's oily compost, like something out here that we have on the East Coast, oily mountain fish compost or something like that. I'm sorry that I'm killing it. I don't know. Alaskan compost. That's also a great source of compost. Excellent choice right there. And then we amend these products with neem, kelp, crab meal, And all these are per cubic foot. You're gonna use about half a cup per cubic foot. We also use Gibson, which is a sulfur source, bay salt, or rock dust, whichever is easier for you to get a hold of, and biochar. Now, when you make this soil component right here, right, you can actually use this off the break. You don't have to let it sit a week or two or none of that. You mix it up. Make sure you throw some malted barley in there too. I almost forgot about that. That's also one of the main key ingredients, malted barley. But once you get all these stuff in there, man, you can use it right away. It's not gonna burn your plants. And like I said, this is just like the basic. This is the start, the basic recipe. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to add alfalfa. Now, when you add these other components that I didn't say, keep in mind that you may have to let your soil sit for 1 or 2 weeks so your plants won't burn. So the first recipe that I gave you, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. But when you start adding these other components like alfalfa, comfrey, and other meals in there, blood meal, guanos or whatever it may be, just make sure you let your soil rest. All that, fourth a cup, half a cup, you should be good. Per cubic foot, that is. I want to thank everybody tonight for tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to wrap this up short tonight. Keep it short and sweet. This was the extra introduction. Next week, we're going to be a little more detailed. I'm going to have a guest in as well. We're going to be talking more about the soil mix that I did give you. I'm going to talk more about the recipes in detail of what the effects are, what they do, what they don't do. And also keep in mind in moderation, man, everything in too much will hurt. So these recipes that I'm giving you is per cubic foot, half a cup for each. You could go a cup on the malted barley. And I'm going to catch up with y'all next week. Thanks to Tricone Chasers for coming through. Hopefully next time I have y'all on the motherfucking panel with me. And we talk a little bit more. Until next time, y'all, peace. Go ahead, wrap that up, guys.